Hello, 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 wonderful people. Welcome, welcome back to Typical Tyrell TV, your community for sprints and track and field. Hello, 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 beautiful people.
Blessed people, blessings. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back. I'm a bit late, but late. I rather be late than not live. So I'm live now. We have the final. We have 6
years. She did make the final in Portland all the way back in 2016.
The screen right now.
Didn't compete in the final after a hamstring injury.
60 people like our live as in a coming. The 6th heat of the 5th heat of the women 60 meters. Nina Asha Smith is in this one. They're on their march. Set. Go. Brilliant start by Nina Asha Smith. She looks great. Look at the time. 7-0-7 for Nina Asha Smith. Very impressive by Nina Asha Smith. 7-0-7. So it should be coming on the scale. Nina Asha Smith first, 7-0-7. Anna from Brazil, 7.17. And Zoe Habs, 7.21. All three qualified for the semi-final. Brilliant execution by Nina Asha Smith. Very good start by the people as a coming back on the line. As an coming back on the line, just won her heat, that was heat 5, women 60 meters. Julian Alfred won her heat.
Julian Alfred 706.
Julian Alfred 706.
She looked absolutely pin sharp there.
Janelle Smith,
obviously
she won her that time 7-1-3. All that needs to look amazing.
Gold.
Nice of life. As an accomplishment, nice of life. She's alive.
In the final, she did really well.
Life of life. To take life to the
indoor finalists. We had that peculiar final where we had two athletes by the same name, and then for the United States, who then didn't start that final. Hobbs is world class.
Those who have just joined, Nina Asha does what her eat at them.
She looks really sharp.
Second place was Anna, 7.17. Third place was Zoe Habs.
And looks very relaxed.
Brilliant run by Nina Asha. Brilliant start.
Really running for Nina Asha Smith. I don't think she's ready since then. She was good for all 3 rounds there. Didn't coach the first round. She could run a domestic level if she wanted to. She applied herself to every round and moved away with the first British title in a decade.
Yeah. Higher and higher. 440 to 460. So both teams performed really well at the end of day 1. Baldwin had a 208. Garland had a 214. Right knee coming back was the instruction for Baldwin. Garland. This is his fourth box of the competition. Yeah, well, 60, normal service regime. A hammer has passed at every
Nina Asha Smith has won her heat that time of 7.07. Anna was second, 7.17. And third place Zoe Habs, 7.21.
We've got varying standards here, the same as you would for any battle. When they almost end up having an entire session of their own. So, rehearse a little bit back here.
Back up alive, she's alive.
Top end up early. Yeah, top end up early, says the coach to Kyle Garland.
All right, we have
to see the.
We're gonna have heat 6 now. G6 has Liston. Brianna Liston. Jesse
Indoors and out a couple of years ago. National
Lata from
indoor
Finland,
champion. She's one of the
Claude.
best in the world this year.
We have Lan LOI Mark.
7:02, her lifetime best. We've seen a
That's
fantastic
a
marker being laid down by Zainab Grosso, Patricia van der Viken of Luxembourg. Johnny L. Smith of Jamaica, Julian Alfred, Dina Asher-Smith. What a standard so far. 3 winners inside 7.1. Lieston on the outside. World Junior Champion back in 22. Over 200 meters. Schwartz will be sandwiched in between the American in 6th and Lieston of Jamaica in 8. European Junior finalist last year. Very powerful performer. Her stats are all going in the right direction. She's getting quicker and quicker. She's taken 2/10 off her PB already this year. Edging towards the end of 60 meters. 7:27 is the quickest of the non-automatic, the slowest rather of the non-automatic qualifiers. Finish in the top 3. Daniela Guerrero, South American indoor bronze for Venezuela. Might need another PB to go alongside that 7:24 to make it. Now from Madagascar, Indian Ocean Games champion. Earlier this year, Lotta Kempinen, European indoor silver a few years ago. National champion. Lloyd Macau,
Brianna
national
Liston
holder at 7.4.
in lane A.
She'll need another big PB here to get in the shape up. Jacius Sears, a relay gold after running in the heats in Tokyo last year. She's in cracking form, 7:02. Ferdinand Schwartz, she's improving almost with every race. 2/10 off her PB already.
Brianna Liston.
Brianna
Let's go Liston.
22:31. She's a brilliant 200-meter runner.
Let's go
At
Liston.
7:07 this season. She's
Because
not
of the
bad
coming
in the
lack of
60
time.
either. She's Guerrero, Venezuela in 2. Narasoa of Madagascar in 3. Kempin and Finland in 4.
Let's go
Lloyd
Liston.
Macau in 5. Sears possibly the favourite for the USA in 6. Schwartz in 7 and Leiston in your picture will be nearest the camera in 8. We've had a 6:06 from the Olympic champion Julian Alfred. We've had a 7:07 from Dina Asher-Smith, the former world champion over 200 meters. What marker from Sears?
Let's go
Third
Liston.
from the
And
left.
MR.
Penultimate heat within 60.
Set. All right, Liston. Come.
Away first time, they've been really good.
Liston.
Sears going well with Leiston.
Right time.
Wow, good running by the Jamaican.
7:05.
7:05.
Liston.
Well, that's the season's best. Rounded up to 7:06.
7:06.
Fantastic
Liston.
running from Leiston. Sears only 100th of a second behind her. And how about that? Kempinen coming home ahead of Schwartz with a national record. Schwartz is only 200ths outside.
7:06. A season best by Brianna Liston.
Schwartz goes top of the non-automatic.
Results are on
qualifiers,
the screen.
top
People.
holding on to
Liston
third
first.
now is
7:06.
of Slovenia
Jesse
is
Shears.
out with
7:07.
Run
Lata,
to top 2.
third place, 7:16, and of course all three
I
has
think we're going to
have
get
advanced.
multiple athletes in this event
Except
inside 7 seconds, because that's what it's going to take for a
That
silver
was
or a
Liston.
gold. The standard's been beautiful this morning.
Brianna Leiston joins Janelle Smith in
Let's go,
winning
Liston.
races for Jamaica. Smith looked brilliant. She was much slower at 7:13, but very relaxed. And Brianna Leiston, you feel like give her another 40 meters, she would have just kept going and going all the way to the 100.
Brilliant execution by
JCC
Liston.
is
She was in lane
very
8 people.
explosive in the first 40, 45, 50 meters, but it was that momentum from Brianna Leiston that was unstoppable for lane 8. Winning under sub
Season
under
best by
7:10.
from Liston.
Same race. Let's hope they get separated in the semi-final. Then they will look toward it
The
all
life
the
of a
way
life,
and
she
gone,
alive.
that would be give me
Entertainment.
the win. by 5-6 meters
Big
or so.
round fast.
Captain it, but absolutely delighted with the national record.
But
So
it's
American
like we have
record,
50 people on
African
the live,
record
people like on the live,
on
shoot
the
the
men's
live.
side, the national records there as well. Great morning for sprinting. And you know what else I wanted to say, Rob? I think we're nearing up on 27-28 sprint base
Like on the live,
for
shoot
this
the live.
weekend. Not a single false start yet.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Lily Hoskins,
Like on the live, shoot the live.
loaded semi-final. For the 800
That
meters.
was heat 6. We're going to have the final heat of the women's 60 meters after this.
And that's always dangerous.
As she said,
Later on, we're going to have early, so stay tuned for that. This is later on, we will have the 60 meter early, so stay tuned. Yes, for those who just joined in, we analyst and want to hear heat 6, that time of 7.06. Second place is JCS Shares
and
707.
then she did
Third
get
place
through to
is
fourth in
Atlanta,
Nanjing, but she just moved on another level in the last 12 months. 155 outdoors, the global final, she was 6th in Tokyo, and then again another level, I think, this indoor season. She perhaps knows that Keely Hodgkinson is unbeatable, but Vero has been very deliberate with her tactics elsewhere throughout this season. She's gone to the front, she's run hard, she's hung back, she's kicked very effectively. I think Vero has got all the tools to pick up a medal here today, and I think she'll be doing it tomorrow. I think she'll be disappointed with anything less than silver when we look at that 800 final.
I love the contrast in warm-ups. Mark English wasn't moving in the background there. He's going in the semi-finals of the men's 800 meters, taking on the I love watching Vera. I think she's a massive, massive star in the making. And if Keely Hodgkinson has anything other than a great day, Vera could be there to pick up the pieces.
Amy Hunt is biding her time in this final.
And the
Look at the progression there, you see the graphic.
This is heat,
In the
final
left-hand
heat of
corner,
the 60 meters.
Amy Hunt, a brilliant junior athlete, absolutely fantastic over 200 meters. And then went missing for a bit, few injuries, few disruptions, a degree at Cambridge, and then this silver medal in Tokyo.
Side by side.
For Hunt.
I'm expecting those two to come out on top. The life of the life.
Race as well. These women waiting patiently to be 7th out of 7 heats. Able to go there. It's gone some 7 seconds a number of times. For Svoboda, the European indoor champion in 2019, came to the edition here in 2021, hoping to take another gold in front of the home crowd, and wasn't able to compete in the final.
He needed 7 more lives to 10 lives.
The opening rounds
So
and the latter stages of the women's six, she was
final
absolutely
heat of the
devastated. Really felt like she was hard done by.
final
Redemption for the Polish women in front of the home crowd. All 8 lanes being used for the final heat. Sonia Jones, Antigua, student athlete from Michigan, that's her personal best this year. It's 7:41. Liliani Dominican national record holder at 60 meters and 100. We see it it was a national championship. She's just beating her Slovenian teammate. This finish nudged out of the time qualifying spots. Amy Hunt was 5th in Nanjing and then went on to take the silver in 200 meters in Tokyo. She's improved to 7:04. Ava Svoboda is still medalist in the 2024 edition of those championships. Season's best pretty much every time she's raced, down to 7:07
Yes.
at the Polish championships just 2 months ago. Michelle Short goes in lane 6 in her first ever indoor race, representing the Tribunal. William Chang to make it goes to the NCAA finals in 2025. Isabel Posh.
Finally, the 60 meters of the women's 60 meters we're going to have. We have mixed 4x4 relay.
So 5 women underneath 7-1 in the opening round of the women's 60. Fastest on time at the moment, Isla Dupont Switzerland 725.
They have men's high jump, women's 800 meters, semi-final. Oh, final. All right, they're on their marks. Set. Go.
And then this final heat.
William start by we go the aiming one. I struggle to come to make it same way. 708.
Another woman underneath 7-1.
708 was a border.
Executed a great race, but oh no, what she's got to change between the opening stages here and the semi-final.
708 by he was a border.
Fantastic. The reaction time there. She's got so much experience. She should be nervous in front of this home crowd, and she didn't show any of that.
So he was a border 130 in a time of 708. Amy Hunt at the big D.
6 women.
We get second 715.
707 or 7.
And third place was Alonso 719.
Nowhere. I actually thought her start was so average it might cost her a place in the semi-finals, but she showed that 200 meter strength coming through brilliantly in the second half of the race to outpit Alonso of Dominican Republic for the second spot. She will also be there. Bertrand will make it as a non-automatic qualifier for Trinidad and Tobago. What's the difference is for Bowden was electric out the blocks. So to Alonso, had to use all of that height and that speed endurance to cover through. Didn't freeze having had a poor start. She had the control and the composure to come back in the second half of the race. I tell you what, Svoboda looks in sharp. It would mean so much to her to win a medal in this event tonight. What an incredible set.
That was a final each of the mixed relays. We're going to have mixed relays finals.
And you can't put a foot wrong come those semi-finals. Not we had all those fast athletes underneath 7-1, and then you got Patricia Van der Beken, Janelle Smith didn't break 7-1, but they didn't have to, and they might be a bit kind of slow. They didn't have to work as hard as some of these athletes to get an event win. Very capable of sub 7-1. They've all done it this season. Svoboda, she looked really chuffed with that. She looked really pleased. There are the full list of qualifiers for this women's 600 semi-final. 3 races that come up just this evening. Much recovery for these athletes. Top of the final, Tyson and Alfred on 706. Just behind Josso Sears, Asher Smith on 707. Ava Svoboda on 708. What a bunch of talented athletes. Brilliant national records from Kempinen, Finland, Pinto of Portugal. Great to see lifetime events for Jonathan Stewie and Audrey Leduc. Qualifying through, there's a look at the final couple of Thai qualifiers. Leah Bertrand and Lauren Boy made it by 1
Mixed relay next 4x4.
In the semi-final of the men's 60 meters yesterday as well.
I honestly think women's 60 could be better than the men's, and the men's was blistering with so many coming home inside 6.5. Fastest time ever by Arnold in the fight. Meanwhile, that really gets up on the quick. First attempt to 70. Nicely done.
It's really
nearly 850 points. 849 for a 480.
Next.
Americans wanting to come in early in this competition. That's pretty good.
Mixed relay next.
Says the coach. Now what about Garland? He is using up a lot of energy here. He's been out there for a while. On his first attempt at 440, and he's been some value since then. First time finishes at 50, 60, and 70. A Hammer listed at the moment as coming in at 480, along with Atakita.
We need 7 more likes to 10 likes. 7 more
And a
likes.
clearance at 460, and it's also opted to pass at 470, maybe thinking about that energy conservation.
7 more likes to 10 likes.
There's 1,000 meters to go. No javelin in this one for obvious reasons, but indoors.
We have some indoor going
7
facilities
more
in
likes to 10
Germany.
likes.
So I think they're such a strong nation at those long throws, perhaps benefiting from the year-round.
Stay tuned. We're going to have the
But it's the other nation that's phenomenal at pole
4x4 mixed with it.
expected to be competent. So 470, but really good. Good choice for him to come in. Mars get 5 meters.
Garland with our first and second.
4x4 mixed
Because
with
obviously
it.
we haven't
Next
seen
week,
a
stay tuned.
adding to his mark. 1-2 so far for Stratsky. What a buzz there was around the arena with that incredible 752 from A Hammer. Stratsky
Like
pretty
of
good.
life, shade of life, as
He's been in the top 6 the last 2
7 more
editions of
likes
the
to 10
World
likes.
Indoors. 2 balls,
7
2
more likes to 10
clearances.
likes.
He's putting a nice card together here. And he too has collected a minimum in this event, 819 points. So he was lying in 6th, coming
7
into
more likes to 10 likes. We're going
It's
to have
ultimate
the
event.
next mobile. Stay tuned.
Garland was down by over 200 points to get on. Great representation from here from both their athletes so far.
This time the fastest time.
Actually, his teammate was down in 11th and very nearly went out. He 440. He got on the third time class. Early stages of this pentathlon world competition status. We've got 2 big finals.
Like of life.
First ever
Now we have
mixed
the
4x4 on the track.
men's
The
All
men's high
bar.
jump final in the field, and we'll round off this third session.
Heptaland, men's 4 bar heptaland.
You almost blink and the indoors have finished before they've begun. We're almost at the halfway stage, but before we bow out for a few hours and come back tonight, we'll finish off with 6 excellent semi-finals.
Life of life, share the life.
Meters.
Share the life.
There'll be all sorts
Share
going
the
on.
life.
Bit of a carnival atmosphere for this pentathlon pole vault. Normally, when it's the decathlon pole vault, there's a hammer looking cool and composed. Normally, there's a hardcore of about 250 spectators sitting in blazing sunshine. It almost becomes a session on its own. Everything else finishes. And then the decathlon pole vault takes about 2 or 3 hours. It's normally full of Germans, Estonians, and Czechia, all cracking open the beers in the afternoon. It's a great carnival atmosphere.
The outside take lights.
Yeah, a little look up. Clearance from him. Passing all the way up to 460, and he's 2 from 2. So it wasn't the tiniest clearance, but it was a successful one, and that's what counts.
Share the life, life of life. We're almost at 10 lives.
Estonia
Share the life, life of life. We're
on the
almost
shot
at 10
put
lives.
yesterday. Good stuff from him. Now, Hannah, this
So
could
we
be
have
absolutely
Mixwell and
carnage,
Jamaica in
and
this
it's been
one.
brilliant fun.
Mixwell final long
That's too many people to have from an indoor track.
Let's go, Team
It's going to
Jamaica.
be really fun to see the mixed relay event come to the World Indoor Championships
Let's
over
go
the
to
next
Jamaica. Mixed relay final.
3 to 3.5 minutes.
Jamaica
I don't expect the race
3.
to take. We did have the European Indoor Championships last year. It's a win for the Netherlands. Shanti Asertic looks delighted to be on another start line for Poland. Major part of the relay success.
Mixed relay final. Jamaica in lane 3, Spain in lane 2, Belgium in lane 4, Poland lane 5, US in lane 6, and Netherlands lane 7. Alright, it's a tough. We see if we can get a medal now.
The stages of their events.
4x4 mixed relay final.
Crowd riled up.
Share the live, like the live, you know.
And the final the 400-meter individual is this evening. So many of these teams resting their stars that have made it into the top 8 of the men's teams event, which makes sense. It's Spanish, but listed. Blanca, so going one of the finals later. Here's the Dutch team, led off by Keenan Blake, it's Mercy Blanca shoots, Tony Van Diepen, and Lily Solberg. Blanca shoots take the semi-final stage individually. This might be their first appearance as a finalist for that. Jacob O'Brien, Sarah Burton, Stephen McElroy, and Taya Shelby, the quartet of the United States. The teams having to go man, woman, man, woman. Here's the host nation. Brzezinski started the quartet 1 year back in 2021, and they've been placemaking on the Karolewski, Justina Schwinty. There's a bronze medal at world champs in the mixed 4x4. And after that, Helena Panak was brilliant. Shalanka, Lara Hansen, Julian Patrick. Here's the Jamaicans, Yolanda Kennedy, Shani Kay Anderson, Eva Parkinson, and Leah Anderson. The Spanish quartet in lane 1, Marco Fernando. Individually, Blanca Urbas, the finalist later on this evening.
Can we get a medal? Yes, we can. It's gonna be tough.
Kotan Jasinski won the Polish National Championship this season. Loads of experience, Polish bookending their squad. Jasinski, Shanti Asertic, part of the quartet, won the first Olympic title unofficial best time ever around the European title. 3 minutes 15 and 63 quality.
Yeah, Jamaica get a medal.
8 laps, 4 athletes. What could go wrong is the mixed 4x4 final appearing at the very first time at the World Athletics Indoor.
Oh, all right, come Jamaica. Let's go, Jamaica.
These athletes will stay in lanes for 1 lap and an after lap. Who knows?
Let's go, Jamaica.
Shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow. There's a chance at the global medal. Let's start here. From Jonathan Sakul, world junior champion from 2018. He's been on this Belgian 4x4 for years and years. A dark inside.
People like the life, stay alive. Come Jamaica. Push. Push. Push, third place now. Push. Come Kennedy, come Kennedy. Faster than that, Kennedy, come. Hey.
Oh, there's a faller there. That is such a shame. That's the Americans. Reef and Raff.
Come Jamaica.
To the track.
Come Jamaica.
This is for.
Let's go Jamaica. Come.
The first circuit. Great work by Shayna K. Anderson in second place. And the polls
Come
very
Jamaica.
exciting. And she was involved in their
Come here.
winning exploits last year.
Come Jamaica.
She's
Come.
got these in her sights. still. Drives on the American region left, trying to close the gap.
Jamaica, Belgium are leading by a good distance. From Jamaica, to the tired door.
For the Belgians, sits onto the brilliant Julian factory. Belgium with a clear lead.
Come Jamaica. Almost in the second. To the third now. Belgium are leading. Belgium is leading. Come Jamaica, come.
They know how to run a relay. They know how to get their tactics correct. Julian Bachan is running away with this at the moment. This guy is a phenomenal hurdler. He's a great part of their relay squad. Had to take time away from the sport to stick the cancer away from the chemotherapy. He's back.
Come Jamaica, come.
He's good and he's such a valuable part of this
Come
team.
Jamaica, cut the gap. Cut the gap, cut the gap. Cut the gap.
Working hard, but the advantage for the Belgians, no traffic.
Come. Still a second. Still a second. Come Jamaica. Come, cut the gap on Belgium. 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 Belgium are leading by a good distance in Jamaica. Come Jamaica. Belgium are leading by a mile for Belgium are leading. Cut the gap. Come Jamaica. Close the gap. Hold it. If you can't close the gap, hold on for a second. If you like, come alive, share the life. Come Jamaica. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hey. Oh, third again. Third.
What a run for the Spaniards. Great for the Jamaicans. They so well to be on the podium, but hard for the host nation. Shonti Asserta, she put together a brilliant run there. In four.
Jamaica win a run
The Belgians just underneath the mark set by the Dutch quartet that won the European Championships last year. So it's the fastest time we've seen indoors in a mixed relay. Oh, I love it when the Belgians get a relay right. It's very satisfying. They really know what they're doing. The order they put the athletes on, they play to their physical and tactical strengths. And I think the carnage on the first changeover, the Belgians were out of it. They kept themselves out of trouble, but the Americans were absolutely decimated. I'm not sure what happened to the Netherlands. I think they must have been really affected in that clash as well.
This time, the Belgians were brilliant without the ball aids. Fantastic quartet.
It was crazy.
So this is right. Watch the American coming in. Well, there was all sorts of elbows flying here. I felt really sorry.
Yeah, for the American, then it got last.
Here she goes. She takes a stumble from behind. I think it was the Blake falling for the Netherlands that clipped her heel.
Yeah,
a real shame, but they are allowed to pick up the baton now, as long as you pick it up from the position in which it fell. And actually, it never even left her hand. She just about managed to hang on to it, and at that point, it was just about over for the Americans. And great drama that Poland were right in the mix up until the very end. Nearly the fairy tale bronze with Sveti Josic. The Belgians, they were magnificent. And what a leg from Urbas. Absolutely sensational.
Brilliant from Urbas. And I muddled up the two Anderson, the two female runners for Jamaica. Shanake, who did the first leg, she did really well to be involved in that sort of pushing and shoving and still bring the Jamaican quartet up into that second place when they handed over to Kimar Farquharson and Leah Anderson. Under real pressure here. You can see her stretching for the finish line. Urbas was patient and executed that finish very, very well. But I was impressed by Leah Anderson holding on to that bronze medal position. The Jamaicans were defending the whole time.
Well, you can't take your eyes off the relay for 1 single second. I think we can say that it's been a successful and highly dramatic day. We had an American faller, we had a Dutch athlete with only one spike. That's how it goes in the relay. It's carnage.
And there are winners safely navigated the carnage. Jonathan Secor, Ilana Hansen, Julian Bachelor, Helena, Colette. Good bunch of splits for them.
Finals later, people just stay tuned. Finals in the afternoon. Well, good bronze medal. Good bronze medal.
Look at those splits. It is Jonathan Secor, former world junior champion, credited with the fastest opening leg, 46.16. Paula Sabea, who would have loved to have pushed her way to the individual final this evening, 52.05 for Spain. On leg 2.
Bronze medal.
Leg 3 credit goes to Tony van Diepen. The Dutch team are quite a way behind. The 4-8 specialist put in everything he could to claw his team back into the med zone. And look at that from Cont Asertic. What more can you do than run a 50.94 for your nation, sub 51 again for that woman in a relay? She is brilliant, and I think it would have been great to see her pick up another medal, especially at the home championships. Just wonder how many more years Cont Asertic is going to be part of those relay squads. Maybe 6 more months. Let's get her to Birmingham for those European Championships. You can see how well drilled the Belgians are as well. The most efficient changeover times from them. It helps though when you're not having to worry about the bodies around you when you're out there with a clear lead.
Yes, the Americans have enjoyed good success so far. It wasn't the case in that mixed 4x4. But their two tap beats are going well here. This is Baldwin. Clean card so far, and that continues. 819 points. He's up to very, very high, 849. 4 bolts, 4 clearances for him. Very exciting, that mixed relay really was. We've got the single sex relays to come tomorrow, and hopefully that'll be every bit as dramatic. Right then, Eddie Hammer. He's mastered everything, and this is his first attempt. An early successful one will settle his nerves, and that's exactly what he's done. This is turning into, I need to touch a piece of wood here. I mean, I'm talking from a neutral point of view, but he's been so good so far. It'd be awful to have seen him have some kind of awful problem on the pole vault and end up with a no height. So what he's done there, he's capable of way more than 5 meters. He's got a solid clearance on the board, so nothing silly can happen. Good tactics.
I don't think he might have benefited from the extra rest, Hammer. He was so fired up after that 750. He looked on the brink of tears. He was so excited by it. So perhaps having probably an hour or so to relax and regather before opening up his pole vault might have been a smart decision as well.
Now Strasky. He's been there or thereabouts. The last 2 editions. He's a fine vaulter. Successful clearances so far. Well, how did he? He's not the biggest guy, and he's absolutely wriggled his body around the bar there brilliantly. I'd love to see this from the side on. He used every millimetre of space there to get himself over. Actually, I might be doing him a disservice. I thought that was quite tight when we saw it from far away, but there might be a bit more room there for improvement. So he's up to 4. This will change enormously depending on when these respective men bow out. What a great photograph this will be for the rest of these. Fantastic. Belgium, Jamaica, and Spain on the podium. No powerhouse of the United States just yet, and that mascot gets everywhere. Now, how impressed were you with this 17-year-old in the heats?
He was good, wasn't he? Looking healthy. He gets a lot of attention. He's so young, 16-year-old, qualified to go to Tokyo come out the age of 70. He's here. He's got to convert.
We wanted to do women 50 meters earlier.
He's
What
got
are your thoughts?
that's that fourth all-time this
For
season.
me, Brianna Liston
Well, Lee,
looks good.
he's definitely the man to beat. He's been in this position before at World and
the
European Indoor
semi-finals.
Mark English goes in the first. He won Heat 4.
Julian Alfred
He's got 5
also
European medals.
has the fastest time going into the
Great
semi-finals.
riders to take on.
It's a brilliant run
Two
by
brilliant young
also
Polish
we have
The
Janet
Duncan goes in the second. The Strauss-Keith
Sharon
goes in the third.
Sharon 7-1.
800 semis will be the last of
That
our
was a
morning
very
action
good
on the
time.
track. And now we turn our attention to what could be and should be a very entertaining field final. The men's high jump. We had 4 medalists in the women's high jump yesterday with a gold and 3 silvers. Let's see if we get close to replicating that here. 10 men have gone 2:30 or better this year. 7 of them are in this field. It could be a very high quality final.
People later, we
Jan
have
Steffler just
60
bouncing
meters
from
to
left
the
to right.
finals.
European indoor silver.
60 meters.
World champion gold medal last year.
Finals.
He says he's lost 5 kilos after giving up drinking beer. Best in the world this year with a 2:33. Ole Dolashuk, top 6 in his last 4 global events. The hugely likable Ukrainian who won the European indoor title in Appledorf last year. Sang-Yok Woo. If he joins Stefan Holt or Javier Sotomayor as the only high jumpers to successfully defend the crowd. Shino,
People like up alive. 6 more lives to 10 lives.
back in Eugene, and he got an Asian indoor silver
6 more lives to
very
10 lives.
recently at the championships. No Tampere, but we do have Italian representation with Christian Malocci, twice a national indoor champion, 6th in European indoors a couple of years ago. 3 wins so far in 26 is going well. Matthias Kolosiecki, World Junior Bronze in 2021. The Polish haven't won a medal in this event since 1991. What a story that would be for the youngster. Antonius Merlos, gold in indoor silver this year. He shared the World Junior gold back in 2018.
Like up alive. Share the land. Now we have a high jump.
7th last year. Twice 4th in the Asian Championships. He looks ready for action.
We have high jump next.
Eunice
Final for the high
Ayachi,
jump.
I'm really looking
And we
forward
have
to seeing this young Algerian.
semi-final.
He's just broken the African Junior indoor record. Really full of confidence. Romain Bedford, Commonwealth finalist, 4-time an NCAA champion, twice indoors, twice outdoors, top 10 in the Olympics as well. Watch for the Jamaican to shine. And then Portillo, a small but select group of
Now we have
Mexicans
to
have made a
turn
very
it
long
up
journey here.
further than the chart.
Junior under 23 champion,
Wow,
just
the
on the
top
way
medal
in
is
the World Student Games last year. And then to our second Jamaican, bronze last year, Raymond Richards. Didn't qualify for the World Championships in Tokyo, but 3 domestic wins out
Wow,
of
top
3
medal in this.
events. The Jamaican, along with his teammate Roman Bedford, will fancy they can get the Caribbean island nation in the shake-up for a medal. 12 men to contest the medals. And honestly, yesterday's women's final was fabulous. The top 4 all successfully cleared 199 without a single failure between them. That's why we ended up with 3 silver medalists behind Yaroslava Učić back on top, reclaiming ground she won a few years ago. Couldn't hold on to last year. Bodes very well for Učić for the outdoor season, maybe an attack on that world record. And Dolashuk will be aware that it's
Like up alive.
one
Share the
gold
land.
and a silver so
Men's
far
high
in
jump
Ukraine.
final.
High jump here.
Jan Steffler had quite the 2025 comes here, cleared that green bit as the world leader at 2:32, and that's not how he would have liked to start his campaign here in Turin. It's funny, at mid-season, he went to British Diamond League, that's one of the Diamond Leagues, and he finally did well. He said, this was my last chance. If I blocked at this Diamond League, I was never going to let myself go to another one. I think he reached a point in his career where he was just very frustrated at chucking out maybe one good performance a season, but not at the biggest stage, not at the most important moment. And he's bucked that trend in 2025, Jan Steffler.
I wonder if he too will pass at 490. He's got showing as a pass. Ferreira. Early clearance at 440. He's had a difficult time so far. Needed 3 at 460 and then was over 480 at the first time of asking. Ferreira, remember, vaulted 520 last year in Nanjing to finish on 6th overall, which was an excellent finish. That might be beyond it. Yeah, 12 months off. Now, Jan Steffler had a failure at 217. What about Dolashuk? And that's how easy it should be. Steffler,
I don't think I just qualified.
this year will have to come back. European indoor champion, Dolashuk. Not far away from an Olympic medal a couple of years ago, 6th. Settler for him at the beginning of this hugely and hotly anticipated contest. Cameras had barely had a chance to reset before Wu came. He's so fast and so aggressive on his in-run. And I love the fact that he wears this incredibly endearing smile on his face, even when the pressure's on.
It's almost surprised. That first clearance was so easy for him. Everyone's taking a win in Belgrade. It was very impressive back in 2022. That was one of the first times he came on my radar. And he's been in all the medal conversations. Okay, we're having a look back here. There is a disqualification potentially here for Jamaica. If you go ahead of the red line there, when you're receiving the baton, you can see the red shoe of Anderson. If she moves that left foot over the red line before Kennedy gets the baton to her, it's too early. I think she's okay. How she got that baton, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, so why the man is
there is a shot there that perhaps does cause the American to fall. It might be the final thing in where, an athlete that is already going down, but I'm not sure. Outside the stage, lines. I'm sure the Jamaicans will appeal that, but at the moment, the Jamaicans have been disqualified for the mixed 4x4 relay, which elevates Poland up into the bronze medal position, a first medal for the host nation. But we'll put a asterisk next to that, because I think the Jamaicans will counter appeal, which is their right, and probably what they would choose to do, given the fact that there is a medal at stake here at the World Championships. Three semi-finals of the women's 800 metres coming up. We've got 3 of the men's coming up afterwards as well. Same rules for both the men's and the women's. Top 2 across the line. That's it to give us a 6-pack final. It's really cutthroat. We said this in the 1500 metres yesterday. And it's the same here. Hayley Kitching led a lot of yesterday, the Australian, and held on very well for a second behind Abby Wiley. Ismail Bobby had to rely on the time the 3-time national champion for Great Britain, 157.43 this season. First time at World Championships semi-final. For France. Silk medal at the European Indoor Championships in Amsterdam last year. She inspired the prize when she backed it up this season. The national indoor record of 159. Valentina Rosavilla goes in lane 3. Age group medalist back in 2021. The Swiss athlete's developing so nicely. She was second behind Healy Healy Hutchinson in her team, number 59. The Irish Romans in lane 2, May O'Neill, benefited from the qualification of Danica Tobias, the American, stepped out of her lane. And she should be in it in the first circuit with the Irish woman. The national indoor record holder gets another chance here with racing for the rest of the world. Pernille and Thompson of Norway looked great yesterday, winning Heat 2. She darted up the inside and she was given the opportunity. Lowered her own national record to 2 minutes 77.
All right, go for semi-final.
That's all the new word this season for World Athletics. It's stay in their lanes a lot longer. We used to break around about where they are now, and they smash into each other and try and use the 30 or 40 metres before the next bend to get themselves talking back. Now they stay in lanes longer until we get onto the home straight here, and they're all side by side. No one wants this. Who is going to blink first? Kitchen of Australia, looked comfortable leading yesterday, and she might have gone for that gateway to Rossimilia and the Irishwoman O'Neill. Valentina Rossimilia. Yeah, some tactics before she came into this race. She might have known it was staging without the time qualified for the next round. And Rossimilia, the first of two strongest results in these three races, leading the way.
Well, she was a reluctant leader, and she hasn't put the hammer down yet. There are no non-automatic spots, which might explain why they were reluctant to go for it. Nonetheless, it's inside 59 seconds at the halfway stage. She's a former World Junior Silver medalist, Rossimilia. She's starting to get to grips with this event, but she's got a classy field now queuing up behind her. Kitching is itching to go, and Isabel Boffey in the right place to strike third fastest in the world this year in fourth.
Pretty quick then through the first 400 metres. Perhaps that's why Rossimilia has been left to it here as they come up to the battle. Kitching is running like the Irishman, just getting beat up down the outside now. And that's a gun to 600 metres for Valentina Rossimilia. They're queuing up behind though. Kitching of Australia looks like she's going to strike first. Lieberman, the French national record holder, going for it as well. Isabel Boffey pinned in fourth place at the moment. Rossimilia starting to struggle slightly. Kitchen of Australia has got first. Lieberman right there. Only the first two get a shot at the global final. Kitching has gone. She struck for home. Lieberman looking good in second place. It's going to be Australia and France to take the automatic qualifying spots. Just outside 2 minutes.
That one, yeah, you know, semi-final one.
Great run from Kitching. Very patient.
Kitchen first.
One move when it mattered, and that was brave running to hold on in the last few
Clara,
minutes.
second from France.
She ran really well in the heats. She just a little nod to the head and a nod to the camera. Kitching was itching to go, and when she struck, her timing was millimetre perfect. Lieberman taking that second spot. Rossimilia, I'm not sure she wanted to be in that position to take it on, but somebody had to. Boffey's had a great indoor season. That 157.43 in Boston will do her confidence great good heading into the summer, but she couldn't close on the top two. So Australia and France, the first two nations into what promises to be an absolutely brilliant women's 800 metre final.
We're going to see some huge casualties as we move through the men's and the women's 800 metre races with this tough qualification. Boffey on a 157 came into this event ranked third. So she's the first of the top ranked athletes not to advance to the next round. Kitching really getting it done here. I mentioned yesterday she didn't qualify for the NCAA final. I think Kitching makes sense. One of the American colleges over there, and she's really made up for that disappointment last week. Bounced back very, very well in making this final.
Yeah, but people like them alive, shoot the light.
Australia do have a champion, former champion in this event, Tamsin Lewis. Really tactical there.
2008.
I got like shoot the light.
Yeah, it's great. So I think it's around a 201, 202 race. So
Right, that was the first
Australian in the final. Just
semi-final.
brilliant in Kitching. They've got so much talent in the middle distance today.
Kitchen took that one
They've got another star.
in a time of 2 minutes, 1:06. Clara from France came second, 2 minutes, 1:08 seconds, and of course, Captain qualified for the final.
Who's disappearing fast towards the leaderboard to join him for the successful clearance at 80. No, he's clearly felt a little below par because he has gone over 5:15 indoors. So he needed 2 attempts at 4:40. But Garland bows out at 4:70, so he has conceded further ground on A Hammer. Garland is a 2:41 man on the 1,000 metres. Oh, that's fairly similar to the lifetime best of Simon A Hammer. So there should well be a medal for Kyle Garland. It's very, very, very unlikely to be a goal, barring an injury to A Hammer. A Hammer has already got that safety net established for 480. I say safety net because he's capable of going over 530. Steffler is more than capable of 270. That's what Mike is in the world leader. He's almost shakes his head in disgust that he had to come back to a height that he deems beneath him.
It is frustrating. You want that clean scorecard. You want to conserve energy. I spoke slightly yesterday on, I think it was Toppage, about the 6th or 7th jump. She just started to look tired. And in fact, these athletes make it look easy, and you forget the explosivity that's required to propel yourself up 2 meters in the air. And Steffler, this competition will get decided on jump 8, jump 9, jump 10. And if he's given away a jump of an opening height like that, he's going to carry that fatigue for absolutely no benefit.
Volonchi also needs 2. Nicely done the second time of asking. But those early failures can prove very, very costly when things get tight and it comes down to count back. Most of the big names making it over the first time of asking. Romain Beckford and Raymond Richards, the 2 Jamaicans, safely over 270. Well, what a semi-final this is. Katie Hodgkinson, the Olympic champion, got silver in Tokyo as a teenager, and she's lost since 2 world silvers, a world bronze last year. She was injured last year, only ran 4 800s, every single one of them in 156, which is certainly more this year with that world indoor record. Addison Wiley, North American record over the 1,000 metres. Anna Diljosh, European indoor champion last year. She won 1,500 metres straight. So for the semi-finalist outdoors, she made the final indoors. Rosa Koya, World Student Series champion last year. She won heat 6. Diljosh was second, so she should be full of confidence and belief. Second from the inside, European under-23 silver medalist last year. Rosia Arroyo comes out in the heats in Tokyo, but she's made a good transfer up to 400. And Alison Andrews, fourth, the Oceania champion 2 years ago. The semi-finalist in the World Junior Champs. Hodgkinson, her face is a picture of concentration. Kitching, the Australian, won the first semi-final, and they were a little bit reluctant to go for it, Lieberman taking the second spot. This is absolutely loaded, this semi-final. Hodgkinson the favourite, but who else is going with her? The second semi-final. The women's 800 metres, Hodgkinson on the outside. Unbeaten so far. The Italian on the inside. Now there was a reluctance to take this on in the first semi-final.
Still more like still like
inside by 26.97. That's pretty sharp. On the first lap, Hodgkinson leading, staying out of trouble.
More like something like
wide on the outside is Annie Wiley, the American, getting herself in a sector.
Shade the lines so we can get more eyeball on the channel.
I think there is going to be to run it in the world difference, but would love to be on the shoulder of Keely Hodgkinson when you get Jordan in the same semi-final. It's intimidating though. And this race is going to come down to the finest margins for everybody you would predict behind Keely Hodgkinson. And Annie Wiley, 156 for former outdoors, following the Olympic champion through 57.55. I think the US athlete is doing very well to hold on to that spot.
She is, especially with that 57.5. Halfway stage. Audio running well the Italian, and they're starting to big gaps here. Fieldosh is struggling to live with this pace. 128.2 as they take the bell. The Italian is the only one at the moment standing a chance of maybe causing an upset for catching Annie Wiley. Hodgkinson stretching her legs. She said she didn't have specific ambitions for the world indoors, but she's following the advice of Trevor Painter and Jenny Meadows. And she says she's had a great winter, and you have to believe her. She's absolutely coasting into the final here. And this is the champion's time. She's made 158.5 with Brian John. Nice effort
I
from
just
Podium. She's in
really
third.
for
Top
Nina
two were away and in advance of their own. Hodgkinson and Wiley will be back for the final. Great run from Wiley. And it looked like she had ball there. It was an indoor PB, but Hodgkinson was in a glass off her own. Started quickly, let the pace drop, stayed out of trouble.
Italian with a
Race
personal
separates her from a seemingly elusive
well.
qualified.
I think Keely Hodgkinson would have loved to have taken it a bit easier in that race, but everybody was very keen to get involved. Cordo perhaps feel a bit happier about that new lifetime best indoors 1:59:33, but she put herself in a good spot to try and pick up the pieces if Wiley had overcommitted. But Addie Wiley, I'm very impressed by that from Addie Wiley. She has the fast times, and she's made a couple of world indoor teams for the US, but often in a championship setting, it's so competitive domestically, the US 800-meter runners. Wiley doesn't necessarily get it right, but that there was absolutely perfect from Wiley. She was great yesterday as well, winning her heat. We can't hang the medal around the neck for Keely Hodgkinson just yet. She is a standout favourite for this event. But the other women behind, they're caught in that world of thinking, do I run for silver? Do I try and go for gold? If I get it wrong, then I'm not even going to get on the podium. That sort of mentality. They're going to be unpicking that over the next 24 hours. But so far, only 4 of them have won the right to think about that. Wiley is one.
Tapping in this one, people. One time in the final.
Keely Hodgkinson will be back tomorrow. Will she do a David Rudisha and go for the gold and the world record, her own world record?
It's the World Indoors Athletics Championships live from the Kachanska Primorska Arena.
Such a shame for Kletti.
I mean, Natalia,
He was starting to get himself just about in the shake-up. Perhaps for a medal. He was in 4th, not too far away from Heath Baldwin. Oh, that's so sad to see that. He's really emotional. Bronze in the European Championships 2 years ago. But that's a nightmare event for Kletti. He'll learn some lessons and he'll pick up some scars. What a shame. Oh, that's sad to see. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and that's why he's so great to watch. I think he would have fancied he would have been in with a shout of a medal. He's got a very good over 1,000 metres, not to be for him.
Well, he's done a show first attempt at 2:26 Kings Scorecard. Dominated European indoor championships last week, and then he just came off the ball when he went to Nanjing. 2:34 at the European indoor championships, and he matched that again in Nanjing, really on the podium. That wrong. It's beating. Whoosh. He's going in with a clean scorecard, and he does. Donachuk and Wu having a good time here, not picking up any back failures.
Now, Baldwin. Could he be the first man over 490? Oh, Kletti still in tears. But the American goes clear and he loves it. Baldwin is a 2:39 man. I think that's an indoor PB for Baldwin by 4 centimetres. And a fabulous fall of points, 880. That's why he liked it. Closer to the
Let the shoulders keep coming back.
to life.
You see where your right hand is? The right hand should be right between your thighs.
That's amazing that you get such instant high-level coaching advice from the stands. Where would we be without iPads?
And what he was saying there, putting that into practice, upside down when he sprinted, running up, it's mind-boggling, that event. I think very tough, it's including the Meg in the So there's 8
Final,
meters.
semi-final.
In Nanjing. Pretty aggressive tactics 12 months ago.
Natalia,
Last the first lap and then the the last two. Like these attitude, a different athlete this year. Brings a calmer approach to these races. One of her biggest rivals for a spot on the podium also joined in this race. Audrey Barron in lane 5. She's second on the world lead list. 157.27. Belgrade in the world indoor tour. And a double tape in her heat yesterday. I only lost actually from when Phoebe Hutchinson set the new world record in the event. Slovakia goes in lane 4. Indoor national record holder, 159.85. Silver European Championships outdoors in Rome. The Toyota topic nearly managed to come to take yesterday for Jamaica. She was fourth in Belgrade in the Division Championships. Maria Abadval goes in lane 2 to Spain. Charlotte Dumas of France should be hoping to join her teammate Clara Lieberman in the final. Dumas won the French Championships and was very tactical. High quality race. She actually beat Lieberman that day.
Oh.
So Getachew, known for front running, known for running aggressively. Audrey Barron is just gaining an experience every season. Audrey Barron has raced pretty much all of her indoor races this season differently. She beat Getachew really impressively. She's waited, let the Ethiopian do all the hard work, and then had a great change of pace in the last 50. Full topping. Does front run quite a lot in her races, but Getachew, the maturity she's bringing to her second ever indoor season, she's resisting the urge to get into a lead. She's letting Audrey Barrow do the work instead.
Oh, she momentarily flipped the heel of Audrey Barrow. Barrow is so good to watch. She's really developing into a world-class 800-meter runner, but this is better from the perspective of the Ethiopian, who blasted through the first 455 seconds last year and somehow held on. 58.3. Vero looks so comfortable at this pace. I wonder whether this is a gradual wind-up of one out of contention.
Audrey Barron fell at the European Indoor Championships.
Semi-final, yeah.
We haven't seen her in the pack much. She likes to run freely and run with space, but Audrey Barron leading the way at the moment, 58, and then that's it. I think 31 for Audrey Barron. So she's moving slightly, and I think she's got the ability and the calmness to squeeze this final lap. The positions haven't changed behind her. Getachew doggedly in second place. The full topping just coming under pressure from Guyana. To a big shock to Getachew comes under pressure.
Cont, Natalia,
would love to make the second consecutive world indoor final. Barron was fourth last year. She's looking to upgrade that here in Turin, and that's the next important stage in that quest. Barron Getachew, the 2 automatic qualifiers. Brilliant finish from Guyana to snatch the 3rd place. Trouble her own national indoor record there. Guyana, but smooth from Barrow and Getachew, both of them. I think that's a very good race.
Good effort from Guyana, but too late. Your topping running out of steam. I think Vera is going to break the time that she produced in Belgrade. She's 8th on the all-time list, and I think she's going to go faster. We could potentially, depending on how brave Keely Hoskinson is feeling, you don't often see a blast from the gun in the middle distance when a global title is on the line. I think we might. If we do, it will be spectacularly quick. I think Vero's going to break her PB. She is in cracking form. She just seems to be growing in experience, confidence, and racing maturity year upon year. Vero coasted home there. She had that race totally under control. I wonder, do you think Keely will go for the world record again, or will it all be about the gold tomorrow?
I think it depends on the rest of these women. I think if they leave it to Keely Hutchinson and they let her do her own thing, and she's allowed to run her pace for the first 2 minutes, not too quick, she's not going to fight for that lead, and they let her get on with it, we could see certainly something in the 156, if not a touch faster. But I don't know, when you look at these women, the only way they could beat Keely Hodgkinson. If they do what Mary Mora did in Budapest, what Lilian Adira managed in Tokyo, just disrupt what Keely Hodgkinson tries to do. If you give her a clean run, if you give the Brit clear sight of lane one and those 800 metres, I think she's unbeatable. And you just wonder, just someone like Audrey Barrow goes, you know what, if you want to be ahead of me in the first 200, you've got to run at 26. And then let's pick up the pieces. Let's see if you can hold that all the way to the finish. I don't think it's not. I think the Brit is untouchable. And it would just be whether these 6 women play second fiddle, just fight for the silver and bronze, or whether they try and get up with the world record holder, the Olympic champion, Keely Hodgkinson. They were all going tomorrow evening in that women's 800 metre final. Hodgkinson, Barrow, Getachew, Kitchen,
Jesse of Shears, Julian, Alfred, I have Brianna Lisa. Who is going to in this one? Heat one crazy. Heat one crazy. This time I forgot to pull a rabbit out of Vina Asher Smith in Heat
by the wayside, not able to register any mark at all on the pole.
We have Heat 3. Janet Smith.
For the
He
minor
was the
medals,
holder.
is hotting up in terms of
Tell us if we can find out one place.
Strasby.
Definitely find out one place.
Here.
I'm going to pull a rabbit out of that.
Needed 3 attempts at 480.
Final update.
10 centimetres shy. Wow. At one point, I was worried he was going to R4 on the track as well as the back, but he's over. It wasn't the prettiest. Look how far he drifts towards the right-hand side. Wriggles that big 6'4" frame safely over the bar.
This time, Africa pull a rabbit out semi-final update.
Position there, but he certainly loved the grit
This
and
time, Africa
determination.
pull a rabbit out at that one.
We know they're great athletes. We know they're the best all-round athletes in our sport, and I think you have to join all of that athleticism moments like that. Just find a way to wriggle over, find a way to make it
So
happen.
Africa pull a rabbit out the semi-final update that people. Liston versus Jesse of Shears versus
Slightly disappointing.
Julian Alfred
His
versus
horizontal event
Ian
goes back to him. Apologies.
Give me
That's
stand
the
up.
first clearance at 480 for Takita. This is a very, very strong event for him. But with Heath Baldwin going well,
Semi-final one.
securing his position, his bronze medal position, Mr. Takita is going to need to probably jump higher than the American if he's got any chance of getting in the bronze medal conversation. It's got simpler for him with Marcus and Gletti picking up no points. This is in 4th place overall here.
Yes. Now Takita needs to get close to that 520 to get in the shape. Crowd are so excited for Ogiewski. Still it is. They're pleased with that. 2 for 2, just settling himself down into this final. Failure at 17. Getting himself in the groove. On a long journey for Portillo. He has the word focus tattooed just above his left kneecap. Wriggles his way round.
Check the agenda now. What's
He and
next?
his brother are both excellent high jumpers. Bit of a showman. So's Richards.
Side jump still
Not so
a go.
much, but it was good enough to get him a medal last year.
Heptalan.
He was a little bit displeased with that. Right. Baldwin.
Far up at 5 metres and quite appreciated the fact that Baldwin here as he knocks off those heights, moving himself up into the silver medal position. That's not going to do this. Any mark here. Baldwin, of course, 4th in Nanjing, who said throughout this heptathlon. And the instructions from his coach that sounded so complicated to us made sense to Heath Baldwin. That's a good clearance. And as the bar gets up, as he gets closer to it, rushing it over his left thigh, you're going to need to keep on top of those technical cues, keep drawing on all of the advice from his coach. 910 points.
Life of life, shoot the life.
So good training session for those guys. Dion Ahammer, 480 first height. He's passed at 490. He goes now for 5 meters. Yes. No, the fan club. Ahammer passing the 490. That's a response to seeing Kyle Garland just get over 470. The margin, the buffer that Ahammer has over the rest of the field is huge. The opportunity now for the Swiss athlete is surely Ashton Eating's world record. Tatiana and his wife looking on. Been here all weekend. Hopefully they'll get some time off tomorrow. We can enjoy it to them.
Well, if he gets up to 520, he will give himself a cushion of 100 points. That's the sub-block. I think that passing was just trying to minimise his energy being expended. Now, that's the end.
Shoot the line.
Can he join this?
Means I don't
club?
take
Yes,
it.
he can. It wasn't too long ago in Decathlon and Decathlon. The 5 metre clearances were a real wow moment, and the standards have moved so quickly. But that's the sub-block here. Ahammer is wrestling that gold medal away from the Americans. The question is, can he give himself a big enough cushion, because he won't be able to run the 1,000 metres as fast as Ashton Eaton did in 2012 when he set the world indoor record. Yeah, and Steffler. Now he's not only got that early failure in 17, but an early failure in 22, and he will be annoyed there. It's like, well, hang on, why couldn't I do that the first time? So 2 X's by his name, and 2 very modest heights by his own very high standards. And that may well cost him if this gets very tight. So he needs to tighten this up, and there's the expression that tells you everything. Just needs to get him to calm down, I think, a little bit. Now he's smiling. Romain Richards rushing past the camera there. You know. Should be straightforward, and it is straightforward. Although he gave him a little bit of a wobble there.
The unusual technique there from Chino. It seems like a pencil dive when you don't use your arms and you dive into a pool. Going the other way here, Chino. So often see an arm shoot leading the way over the bar. Chino jumps those hands, knocks them down by his side, just leads with his hand. If you watch any other high jump in the world, they'll really approach your arm up in the air, give themselves a lift, help themselves arch over. Chino. Archie, the youngster, based in Podium for the last month, has had some help from Topich's dad, coach. Oh, that's a nice job for Archie. Good improvements this season. Topich went on to take that joint silver medal on the women's side, so Dragonton, Topich, her dad, great advice. Particularly the youngster like Archie.
On this channel, please subscribe.
Great Algeria have got 2 men in very technical events. He was on the podium yesterday in the triple jump. And I actually a very, very good young talent.
There was Championship Topich having a go in Jamaica. And actually Jordan Scott picking up their first ever medal in that men's triple jump. They've got an opportunity here. Each of these Jamaicans capable of 2:30 every getting on the podium. Beckford, get over that after that first failure. great jumping. Back for dear.
Jumping by the first.
Surprisingly as well, no Jamaicans ever won a gold or a silver in this event. Richards the bronze. Never a top 2 finish. 24 sets. You're running myself about 24 sets. So slightly under 25 seconds. Bellucci. Well, he would not expect to be in last chance at 2:22. Twice a national indoor champion, top 6 in the Europeans a couple of years ago. Oh, he'll be so disappointed with that. He just hasn't quite put it together.
Like a black, shape alive.
You spent all spring getting yourself fired up for a global event.
Military community,
so disappointing for the
watching
Italian.
the men's high jump and Jamaica can get a medal in this one. Also the men's also the men's
I thought he got that. Very aggressive on the running takeoff. Just rushed it for a moment. I thought that was staying on. Speaking of which, stay with us. They're going nowhere. It's high jump. We got that tap on Bobo to see whether he can give himself a shout. World record company. Tapped on 1,000 meters, and not one, not two, but 3 semis in the men's 8. That's what's still to come.
First of the 3 semi-finals coming through your screens now.
the men's 800 meters semi-final. Okay, our women just finished our men's 800
Australia.
semi-final.
Ben Haxon, bronze medalist from Budapest, looked great yesterday. He led Gun State.
Subscribe to the here, no? That we will miss a video that
About 15 minutes.
No, I thought I should.
Of course, later we have 2 minutes to the final. So
2 from 2. 2 from 3. Who starts this competition for the Ukrainian? He's always been there or thereabouts. 4th 2 years ago in Glasgow, 5th last year in Nanjing, 6th in the Olympics in Paris. He's done European golds, but he's been struggling to get on the podium in the global finals. This is an excellent start to his aspirations for a silver on the
men's 800 semi-final.
women's high jump.
Next, meanwhile, the men's high jump final taking place.
Who has
And
bounced back brilliantly from the huge disappointment for the Olympics. He's learned some big lessons there. Oh, he's such a character. I love watching Wu. He wears his heart on his sleeve. Brilliant stuff. I think he's got bags of personality.
It really has. Really, 2025 was great there. Winning Magic, silver at Tokyo, and then going on to take gold at the very special for him. And no here, of course, Kiwi Olympic and World Champion. Not doing it in 2026. I think we'll see him at the Games. Just staying out a bit, you'll have to go up against Beckford when we go to those Commonwealth Games. Beckford, messy attempt, first attempt there at 2:26, nowhere near really. It shakes his head. I'm wondering what went on. So yeah, moments like that when you appreciate how technical it is. You have to have every element right, straight, the curve, speed, high climb, your foot before you take off. It's all got to be perfect, else it kind of looks like that.
Share the live back on the live. This is your first live. Subscribe.
Goddard and Wu are now joint first because they've had quite a few high jumpers with clean cards up to this point. Missing their first attempt to 26. Here. Wearing the Olympic rings with pride. Family of high jumpers. He too is not sure of a drop or two. It's great to see him asking the crowd to fully engage.
Share the live, like on the live.
Enjoying Will and Donisham has joined first. 3 No.
See ya. That'll think so. Catch a funny boat. It's not funny.
Subscribe and we're waiting to 15,000 subscribers. Of course, I cannot do it without you guys. On our way to 15,000 subscribers.
Largely attempted.
Just 500 more subscribers.
Richards.
On the charts.
Last year. 3 out of 3 back in
the charts.
He's got a really unusual running. He seems to spot temporarily.
On the charts. You can get a medal in this one.
Unbelievable spring in his legs.
On the chart, want a medal and a so maybe you can get a silver medal or a bronze medal in this event. You can do it.
But most of the athletes are bends that it's closest to the bar. Again, as I was talking about, we've got the Japanese athletes with the arms shoot, which they'll drive that knee up to give them the height. Whereas Jamaica just kicks it out.
Jamaica.
Second time clearing it, but he maintains
Please remember to like almost 10 likes.
I mean, in the competition, that's how he survived. That clearance. It's good, it's important. It's also really helped his campaign.
Almost I think like you know.
Just puts some pressure on himself.
Of course, subscribe later. Don't know me about Podium. 60 meter final, third
in the last man
and the women.
Was its coach? Yaroslav Barba, really got a brief shot of him.
One more like to 10 likes for people. Like share the live. One more like to 10 likes. 10 likes.
We are getting to the business end of this triathlon competition.
One more like to 10 likes.
5 meters.
One more like.
Come on. Oh, yes. He wriggles over. Thought he lost a little bit of speed.
Alright, we have finally reached 10 likes for people. Thanks.
But he's over the movement now.
Next bowler,
And it's collected
20.
910 points.
Next bowler, 20 likes.
Good clearance
Next
there.
bowler is 20 likes from the live.
Still waiting to see whether they have it.
So, Raymond Richards is still up in the mix. The goal, Bedford jackpot in the eye jump for the night.
Over 1,000 meters.
People like our live, share the live so we can have more eyeballs on the channel. You have the 800 meter men semi-final coming up.
3 so far.
Stay tuned.
Closest to get there. Should move ahead of Scheffler. Yes, he goes fourth, and Scheffler now down to fifth because Scheffler needed 2 attempts at 17, 22, and 26.
Like of live,
First time clearance at 17. These failures could be the difference between
Richards
bronze and fifth.
number 1.
He can't
Raymond Richards won the gold medal, yeah.
scorched through this season with 232, but good work there from Shin. He's still in the conversation.
History we have to make.
So, Tobias Merlov's next in Greece. 2 failures for him. He eyes up 2:26, trying to go the 6th man clear at this height.
History we have to make.
Good run up for him. Go across the pole, but it's going to be disruptive for him and the athletes. Merlov, not in the second attempt.
History we have to make no people. Raymond Richards won the gold of the
He was almost in the back straight. Absolutely colossal run-up.
I thought you were going to get your binoculars up. It's a long way away for you.
Well, I thought my eyes were deceiving me.
Like of that shit one.
I had to temporarily bring a halt to the pole vault and then tack on.
Well, that pole vault could be brilliant for the Greeks later on today. You know, Carolise going to challenge one of the artists. You know, I actually, up next. 17-year-old's going to need 3 attempts at 2:26. Great improvement this year, 2:21 to 2:28. Championship environment.
To get that one.
Go to those World Junior Championships, I'm sure in Portland. Usually in Oregon later on this summer.
So they can force to get a gold medal. When they bring back the chance,
They will. Be a shame if we lost the 26.
it's the first time we subscribe. What did you make first?
In Europe. Beckford. Struggling to get to grips with 2:26.
No money, I get it right, man.
So we've got
Look for it. The way I said, I get it right.
Scheffler. Got a show.
People like them live, see the live, Jamaica boys to get one medal in the high jump. You know, Raymond Richards leading.
These are the kind of heights where suddenly half the field aren't there anymore.
Please, if it's your first time, please subscribe. We won't miss out video on my channel.
Once again, the charismatic Mexican asking the crowd to get involved, and he too has quite a long run up. So the taps on ball off, temporarily halts.
Subscribe if it's your first time on my channel.
Gets himself ready. He covered about 20 minutes by the time he takes off. Oh, nicely done.
And our way to 15 subscribers. We just need 500 subscribers.
Sang-Yong Woo is one of those that wears his heart on his sleeve. The crowd always appreciate that. Come on, let's figure it. He's up to 4.
That was such a good jump. 3 men tied for first. Another check. Richards.
It's a 3-man tie for first.
What a brilliant jump on the biggest stage under pressure. Unfortunately, at the moment, and he's up in 4th place, but it's all going to change. It's 2:30. Anyone that I wonder, do you have more than 3? 2:30. I don't know where it's going. I think we're going to busy time here at 2:30. Straightforward clearances. We did see a wonderful level for the women yesterday. A lot of key scorecards up to 191. So the arena here very suited to high jumping. It suited to jump ship yesterday though in the women's competition. Rodleski here on his 3rd and final attempt at 2:26. It's silent, scuffed on the way in. For Rodleski, not getting it done here. That is such a shame for him. We see a replay. I do think he caught a toe just in the final few strides before taking off. And that's what made perhaps the jump look
20 likes on the line on us.
more complicated than it would have otherwise.
1, 2, get
Not carrying
15
the high
total
speed
subscribers.
power that he needed to attack that mark.
Such a shame. Such a shame. They were willing him to do well there. Even his rival. So rare that a major championship, a global championship, comes to your own country as well. You love how things go. I reckon probably
Like on the live, see the live. Almost at 20 likes on the live. We need 9 more
Right,
likes.
Rob, it's going to
And
happen on the right here.
we're asking
You're
if you
at the
subscribe
right part of your
to
career
the
to match that championship.
15 total
No
subscribers.
loss, a long walk all the way across this infield to the rail on the far side of the track. So no loss, he's got a 3rd.
Share the live. We have 36 people on the live. Share the live so we can get more eyeballs. Share the live.
No, final attempt to go on to 2:30. Nah, decent from Manos. Better than his 2nd attempt. But that's the other rate for Manos. 5 minutes so far.
Nice
Up
of the
to 2:30.
Almost 30 likes. We're at 11 likes. We need 9 more likes.
you will not
We have
miss
the
a single moment of
Yeah,
drama from that high jump final. Scholarship Wu and Raymond Richards tied first. We'll keep an eye on that hexagon pole as well to see whether he
Of
can
course.
extend his lead and give himself a
Each
chance.
one, semi-final one has Navasti and this
It's
using
a
four
time again. Same rules as the women's semis. Top
Like
two.
of life, shoot the life, you know? men's
Not about the
intergender
times,
semi-final.
finishing first or second.
This is your first time to subscribe.
Record holder.
Please subscribe in case it's your first time. Semi-final going on right now. Obviously, we have the
In 26,
right? With ball, Mark English, James 5, 4, Clay, Karina Baski, Anderson from Georgia.
They make it into the big five. The Asian indoor
Hassan,
Canada. For it as well. Anderson in 23 made the world final last year. He's down at number 2 club now. He's
make the final. People really eat more lights
over the last
in the lights.
Patterson, very confident win in Heat 5, one of the best runs we've seen.
Subscribe if
World bronze, remember, in Budapest. On the inside, Abdullah Hassan.
Take the win in this one.
Last year, he was
in semi-final one. Take the win in this one, Navaski.
This is absolutely loaded. English has got the experience. Ball has the fast time.
Take the win in this one, Navaski.
And has a world medal. Only 2 are coming back for the final.
Let's go, Navaski.
So all the tactics play out here.
Take the win in this one, bro.
Irrelevant play.
People like up live, share the live. Take the win in this one, Navaski. We need another final. You like the hero in this fight.
Sweeping through all this inside Hassan. Patterson. The grip. Acting confident forward. Just inside 25 seconds, and Peter Ball running a very sensible race here. He's on the outside, out of trouble on the grip shot.
Navaski.
Patterson did look right, did look back, see if anyone else wanted to take the lead, but he didn't want it to slow down.
Push up on the board.
Looked brilliant going down to take yesterday.
Push up on the board.
Competition when you come to the semi-final here, but the moment
Eclipse 4th place now. Come Navaski. Come now, man. Yeah, make them 300 in front of you for that. Come Navaski, man.
Just
Come.
53 seconds, and they are cleaning up in this third 200.
Come. You're informed, man.
Get himself in position.
Come on, push way. Navaski, come, man.
Ben Patterson is trying to push him out there. He's really disrupted the Britain's rhythm.
Come, Navaski, man. You're too far still, you know. Jesus Christ.
Moved his way past Ball and Patterson.
Still believing in your Navaski. Come, man. Come, man. Push up, man. You have to push up here, man. Come, man. Push up, man. Fight. 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 Turn.
Right on the outside. While there were elbows,
that must be third.
Everywhere there. Peter Ball ran a very, very astute tactical race. And how about that from play? Not many people would have fancied the Asian indoor record holder who would come past everyone else, including the 142 man from Jamaica. English was
1 minute 40.
Play finished like a steam train. It was absolute carnage for that second spot.
1 minute 46.
Had done all the work, led all the history on its hand behind.
Make it short time.
Fine run from the Australian. It really was.
I was really composed from Ball because he was in a good position behind Patterson before Mark English made that move with 300 to go.
Still Anderson made that final.
English, they clutched around about 50 metres. Ball didn't get involved. And then, once that was all done and dusted, he took his turn in the lead. Alan Clay looked great yesterday.
People like up live, share the live. Their arms and 20 likes.
Made the NCAA final just last week, and I think the turn of pace, just using his energy when it mattered. I think also when you look at these middle district heats, it's the same in the 1500 yesterday.
20 likes, 8 more likes, 20
for no real benefit. That's when they paid for it in the last one.
This is your first time to
He didn't really try to do anything until the last 100. Maybe inspired by Mohammed Tawhi yesterday. He won the team very similarly in the first round.
3 from 3 so far from Dorashuk. 2:30. Oh, brilliant! Stay on, he says, and it does. He has just given himself a wonderful chance here taking some massive scalps. We know he's done it on a European level. 4th 2 years ago, 5th last year, 6th in the Olympics.
Like of the line, people, like of the
the
line.
World Championship in Tokyo.
Come
As far
for
as I remember, he's
come
never
Raymond
won
need
a global
unification.
individual medal,
Like
and
gold
he's got
medal.
a
Come
fantastic
Charles.
chance now. Whatever
One
else
a gold
happens,
medal in the
first man over 30. What a platform. Woo. The gauntlet has been laid down for the charismatic defending champion, hoping to mount the first successful defence since Stephen Hall. Eddie Hall and Sotomayor have gone back to back in the world indoors. Just that is a consultation fresh there. He's standing beyond the runway of the ball. He's pretty busy over there. He's a great championship performer. I thought that was staying on, and so did he.
I thought that was staying on.
Come on, Raymond, man. Come Raymond.
I think he's still on his
Come
walk.
Raymond, Charles, man. Gold medal in a year. Well back up, man.
Leader goes to bed and realizing the defending champion is clinched. That's frustrating.
Gold medal in a year.
No. Close is like you always rather just smash it off and be nowhere near than be that close. So first failure for Williams.
Come Raymond.
Still got 2 scorecard card from Raymond Richards, and you can see the other Jamaican there. Remain effective. 3 failures, Raymond Richards. Very well.
Like of the line, almost at 20 lines. Like of the line, she'll line
Another
as
2
well.
scorecards that could stay on terms. And they got a shot.
Listed by the narrowest departures.
Subscribe if you
Chino is off the podium at the moment. His first time players in 22 and 26. And once again, I'm sure they don't mind too much. He's caused the on Bobo to pause because he also has a massive run up. Free jump routine. Asian indoor silver. It's a matter of weeks ago. So
come
he
on,
brings some good
Raymond,
form
Charles.
here
You
to
need to get that gold medal.
Toronto. Most of the crowd have stayed around. This is fantastic. 2 seconds still to come in the men's eight. Climax of the men's high jump. Climax of the decathlon pole off. Still performing in front of a huge stadium. Unfortunately, his run of first time failures continues. And Dorishuk's first time clearance is starting to look very, very useful indeed.
Even if it is to Raymond.
So the second semi-final in the men's 800
I will
meters.
take a semi-final and then
Not to be control and straight
we
ahead.
have the lineup. Kimpet
And
and
relay.
Kenya in this one.
Japan come through second. This
Please.
race is so
Mola.
stacked. Remember, as we go through this lineup, only 2
Yeah,
get finished.
Mohab,
Match it.
Jordan.
Third on the entry list this season, 1:44.07. His teammate Philip Ostrowski will have a go at making the final. Next race, Cooper Lichtenhouse of America, the world under-20 individual record holder, the US champion this season. Slimane Mula takes lane 4 for Algeria in his 5th at the World Championships in Eugene and in Budapest in 2022 and 2023. Mohamed Katawi, 5th in Paris, 5th in Tokyo, one of the fastest men of all time, 1:42 out to
Come Raymond, Charles. The one you have here was
smooth and qualified
At the eye,
yesterday.
why are we
Last minute effort to get himself easily in the end. Jordan Tass of France goes in lane 2. The French indoor national champion. And if that wasn't enough talent for a race where only 2 people get to advance, the silver medalist from Belgrade back in 2022, Noah Quebec, gets lane 1. The Kenya Quebec led gun to take yesterday. Just hold a yellow card though for a slight lane infringement.
all right.
This is the hardest of the three semi-finals on paper. Mohamed Atawi just
Semi
jogging
final,
up the
2
line
of
like he
it
did
is
yesterday.
meters, you know.
The adrenaline will be
We'll
pumping
take
for the
this one.
Polish athlete out in lane 8. The crowd will be screaming at him in his face, roaring him on to get in and see the final that will take place tomorrow evening. Mula has done very well here to get himself into the second position behind the pole, but that's quick through the opening 200, 24-1. Vidaka is not hanging around here. When you look at his middle distance races, the faster it goes, the more the Thornburg it goes, and that is bringing Vidaka and Lutkenhout to the lead at the moment. As the Polish athlete just settled back on that really fast first 200.
This is good stuff from Vidaka, World Shooting Games gold. A couple of years ago, looks very comfortable at 50.2. Watch for Atawi. His penultimate 100 meters in the heats was 12.8. And he's beginning to close. He must ensure
What a performance
by the 17-year-old American. In contention in second, but don't rule out the Spaniard. He's starting to close.
Nacho Vidaka has been in great form all season. What will he do now as we take the American strikes for home? Lutkenhout has been brilliant all season. And he's gone for the win here against the Spaniard. Mohamed Atawi who's past lower to that. The Spaniard is on the charge. America, Poland, Spain, only 2
America,
The
take
American
the
teenager, 17-year-old, he looks over his shoulder. He's going to need something here in the hamstring. Atawi gets space on the inside from Vidaka. It's heartbreak for Poland. Lutkenhout, the teenager, will make the final. Atawi.
America first in this one.
He loves to leave it till the last minute.
Cuba first, second Mohamed,
But Vidaka,
the third place of Poland.
maybe get back to Lutkenhout if the American Bolton wide. And they hold lay on the ground with his head in his arms. Atawi's been credited with a national record for Spain now, 1:44.48. It was quick because of that time. Just Vidaka was brave, he really went for it and just takes for it in the last 20 minutes.
Well, there can't be many editions of the world indoors where a 1:44.59 indoors over 4 laps isn't good enough to make the final. Vidaka ran his heart out there. Look how far behind Atawi is at this stage. It's ludicrous. You started to think maybe he had left it too late, but little by little he closed the gap. He had 2 acceleration points. One was
My second place by Mohamed.
where he got himself tucked in behind Vidaka.
Yeah,
At this
by
point,
Mohamed.
okay, the stride is getting shorter. Lutkenhout has run brilliantly there. He's coasting across the line, but somehow the tiny Spaniard found a way through on the inside. Lutkenhout has grown immeasurably, Hannah, from the startled rabbit he appeared to be in Tokyo, where he couldn't live with the expectation of the 142 from the US champs. But he's a massive contender tomorrow. But how does Atawi keep doing that?
And if Lutkenhout, he looked up at the screen, he had it won. If he'd done any more, which he could have done, he still would have won. Atawi wouldn't have had the space. Atawi not only needed Vidaka to give him some space, he needed Lutkenhout to stay further enough ahead to give him space for the Spaniard to push into second place. Living life on the edge, but he's got it.
That's the old for 5:10. Oh, what is it about the French?
Subscribe if you're new here.
Such a
Time.
rich history
Subscribe, share the live.
in this discipline. Not just Renault ability,
Also like
his brother as well.
at 20 likes.
Collet, the youngster. Bastion
7 more likes to 20 likes.
moves up to 941 points.
6 more likes to 20 likes.
Absolutely loves that.
6 more likes to 20 likes.
As you can see on that graphic, has had a failure at 5:10. He's going to lead by a long way. Currently, he's on 5,714 points, which only puts him 25 points or so ahead of Ashtony. Ashton's not in the competition with a potential world record, just in case anyone starts to get a little confused. Anyway, the headline is that Hammer needs to go higher to have a big enough cushion, because he's not as good a runner over 1K as Eaton was 14 years ago when he set the world record. Actually, high jump final. Chino. One more attempt to come for him. So still, got a shook. It's the only to go over all four heights for the first time of asking. I think Gorashuk is starting to think about the fact that he's got a medal, while all the others are still scratching their heads at 2:30. Last chance for 5:10. No. A little bit tight there. Last chance for 5:10. He needs this to stand a chance of the world record in the 1,000 meters later. He leads by miles. A champion's response to the pressure. This is a brilliant
in the item,
but he has been at his best. 5:35. He knew he needed that. Great stuff from Ahammer. And his cushion and his chances of the world record, cleared up by miles as well. His chances of the world record are increasing with every successful 10 centimeters. So 5,745 now, 55 points up on Eaton. But Eaton's likely time will be 100 points better than that, which we see from Ahammer in the 1,000. The fact that he can break his PB. He's making them live every single second. Now, last action on the track.
Let's meet the athlete in lane number 6.
Third heat. 800 meters. Philip Ostrowski could get better.
Philip
But his great rival Michel Durkin in the second semi-final. Silver last year, bronze 2 years ago. He's the 4th fastest in history indoors. He'd love to take the title first. He's going to get in the final. Mario Bludek. He was brilliant in the heats. Now Robert, 42.85 last year. The semi-finals to the World Juniors. North and Central American champion last year. Elitzer of Switzerland, second best Swiss athlete of all time now. And Sean Dolan, second national indoor champion. Third in heat 6.
Final.
Bouncing around. He's not the favourite here. He needs the top 2. Is he closing in on a 3rd consecutive medal? The only colour missing from his world import collection. Well, they've just been asked to stand up, and it was actually Creston. I was watching him specifically from our commentary position. His body was wobbling all over the place as he bent down, ready to go, maybe feeling the pressure. Dolan, USA, Elitzer, Switzerland, Robert and Vincent of the Grenadines, Bludek of Croatia, Creston, Belgium, Ostrowski of Poland. 6 men, only 2 of them are coming back for a blockbuster 800 final tomorrow.
All right, cool.
This time they're away. The last semi-final. Times are completely irrelevant here. It's only the top 2. Tactics are fascinating. With Durkin, when hard balls out from the previous semi-final, and ended up being run out of it. He's going to take the initiative here. Preston, he gets a little shove in the back there from Sean Dolan, who's in a sensible position in second, and Ostrowski of Poland in 3rd. Watch for Robert in that distinctive green strip of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He's in the right position here. Preston, just staying out of trouble, doing exactly what he needs to do to get himself in a position to strike.
Preston, the fastest on paper, out of Keely Hodgkinson on the women's event. Abby White, and he got a great position behind her, and it's the American Dolan that's managed it in this race. But Dolan now, he's got to make his effort, he's got to protect that position. You can see him drifting wide to make sure the band doesn't come past him. But it gives Ostrowski any space on the inside. The ball and the dart and undertaken. So Dolan trying to protect the
Shoot the light. Fire down.
the world leader, Crescent.
Preston takes the bell. They're all queuing up behind him. Don't fall out. Blaudek either. He's at the back of that group. It's not guaranteed that Creston takes this. He needs to start winding this up. Blaudek is coming wide on the outside. It's a huge figure, the Croatian. And he's putting Sean Dolan under real pressure. Creston just winding this up as he needs to. Good run by the Belgian favourite. He's over the line. And Blaudek also makes it. Excellent run from him. He had a great heat, and he's just had a superbly timed semi-final. Stayed in the pack, didn't use up too much energy. When he came wide on the outside, nobody could respond. That's a brilliant qualification for Croatia.
Looks like he cannot believe what he's just done. The focus in the race, heads down, he's just driving to the finish line. And it's only at that moment now he looks up and wonders, where's everyone else gone? I've just made a global final, a 6-person final as well. This is the hardest global final to make in the world. Only 6 athletes get to call themselves a finalist in the 800. Like I mentioned yesterday, national records over 850. And perhaps that strength here. He was strong and able to finish much faster than everyone else. And press down. Easy as you like. Job done. Nothing done to take win.
Well, it's been a funny old competition for Jan Steffler. Came into this as the best jumper in the world this year. And he's needed at least 2 attempts at every height. The good news from his perspective, the only person over for 230 is so to get back in here, he moves up to another position. No. Oh, he'll be so disappointed with that. He was 5th 2 years ago in Glasgow. He was further away from the medals in the final last year in Nanjing. After his bronze in Tokyo in the autumn, he must have thought, okay, come the spring, I fancy the job. It's a short journey. It'll be a great atmosphere, but it's just been out of sorts from start to finish in this final. A real shame for the Czechia athlete. He will not be going home with a medal. So Wu, defending champion, he has 1 attempt left. So too Shino. 1 attempt there for Portillo, the Mexican. He's down in 4th. Raymond Richards has missed twice. So at the moment, it's Donachuk bleeding. All first-time appearances. Wu and Richards are in joint 7th at the moment. Needs this to stay in the hunt of a back-to-back world indoor double. He loves competing indoors. Won the title in 22, relinquished in 24. Oh, he's been the closest of all the others we've seen trying to join Donachuk, who's been flawless so far. Not to be the goal this time for the defending champion. No, the winner is Belgrade, a bronze in Glasgow, the title back last year. So it's going to be a 4th consecutive medal, but not the gold. At the moment, depending on what happens with the likes of Shino of Japan, Portillo of Mexico, and Richards of Jamaica, at the moment, the best he can hope for is a silver. Funny enough, that's the only colour missing from this collection. 2 golds and a bronze so far.
I'm not sure that would be a consolation for him completing the collection. The gold medal. Next, 7 men in this field cleared to this season. And this just shows you what happens under the pressure of a competition. When there's medals on the line, only Ole Donachuk has converted his pre-eventful to a 2:30. He's matched his season's best. And Shino up next. Remember, Podium and Richards left. See if they can join the Ukrainian trying to make it a men's and women's title for his nation in the high jump. Coming here, Shino bouncing around, starting a long old run up across the pole vault runway, across the 60-meter lanes, up and nearly over 2 meters 30, not quite. Because of his earlier failures, that's just 5th place for Shino. Amen. Richards and Wu could share a silver medal. We'll see if he wants to get on the podium. Next, he's going to have to go clear here.
Yes, Portillo had one failure at 2:26, where Sang-Yok Wu and Raymond Richards, the Korean defending champion and the Jamaican bronze medalist last year, they've had clean cars at 17, 22 and 26.
So Raymond Richards,
So we could have 2 silver medalists to go alongside the champion. With this one.
Which color? When you are on the day.
This would be the biggest achievement of his career if he were to somehow get over 2 meters 30 here. This would also be a personal best by 2 centimeters. It's a tall order, but he's fired up. The crowd like him. He's charismatic. He's got everybody involved. Hardly anyone that's left the arena. This is the last medal action of the session, and we've got the very important last few efforts in the marathon and humboldt to come as well. If he goes clear, he wins a medal. If he doesn't, he finishes in 4th. It's that simple. This needs to be the greatest clearance under the greatest pressure of his career. Can he do it, the Mexican? Oh, yes. What a clearance from Portillo. That is the definition of somebody delivering the very best performance of their life at exactly the moment they needed. Never before in his career, never before, indoors 4 hours, as he never soared over 2:30. He would not have done it at a more important moment. The whole place erupted. That's one of the best moments we've seen so far here in Tulum. Fantastic.
What an effort from the Mexican, and I'm loving it's almost Wimbledon-esque, the fact they can jump straight into their stands and see their friends and their family and their coaches. That's so important, and I said it just before, this is the only way he could get himself onto the podium. If he failed, he was going to be in 4th. At the moment, we've got a tie between Wu Sang-Hok and Raymond Richards. Richards goes next for Jamaica. If he clears this, he'll put himself up into silver medal position. Push Wu off the podium, the defending champion, go home.
Come Raymond Richards. Come Richards. You can do it.
The bronze medalist last year.
Come Raymond Richards.
If he goes over, as Hannah said, Sang-Yok Wu goes home with nothing. If he fails this 3rd attempt, Wu and Richards would share the bronze, and for the 2nd successive day, we'd have 4 medalists, not 3.
Come.
Whole place holding their breath. So close.
Bronze.
Well, how about that? Richards and Sang-Yok Wu will share the bronze medal.
Richards is bronze.
Cards. I bet Sang-Yok Wu's heart was in his mouth there just for a split second. One moment he's got a virtually guaranteed silver, the next he's potentially down in 4. He rushed it with just the tip of his mouth. So, Jamaica and Korea sharing the bronze.
Good try, good try. Good try.
Wilhelm Strachte, who
I leave it at that.
here at World Indoor Championships, the first of us in the hurdle.
Good try, Raymond Richards.
Lovely.
I'll leave the brand.
From strategies coach. A really important jump for Wilhelm Stratsky. Just when it mattered. He was 6th and 5th at the last 2 World Indoor Championships. He had no K day
Good
yesterday.
try, bro. Very
Stratsky
much try. Good
came
try.
in 9th overnight.
I'll leave with something.
This jump here, pushing him up into 4th
I'll
place
leave with the brand.
overall. Decent runner as well, Stratsky, 2:33, one of the best runners.
Leave it
You
with the
will
brand.
take the points difference between Stratsky and some of the other athletes as the bar goes up. It will go to 5:20 next.
And 5:20 is 9. Well, Jonathan is still the heavy favourite. Is still the heavy favourite.
Not doing something.
Whether it will be gold or silver.
Not doing something.
Okay, will be favourite for the gold.
And that's a decent attempt. The guys are having a go.
First time you subscribe, like on the live, she's live, you know?
2:30. And then to overcome very first time
Almost at 20 likes on
to
the
get
live.
yourself
Pressure. Wow. He'll never ever forget that. Whatever he goes on to achieve or not achieve, what a way to win your first global medal.
That's on the live, shoot it out.
He needs this for a chance at the world record. Oh, what a 1,000 metres we're in for. What a 1,000 metres we're in for. I think his friends and family are going to need to lie down after this pole vault.
So that puts him 86 points ahead of Aston Eaton. When Eaton did that world record back in 2012, that equates to in something that he's not that natural at, and he's got his whole supportive tears.
We're almost done with the
Well,
morning
everyone's in bits. 86 points. You might just be beyond it.
please subscribe to my
You're right. Another 10 centimeters would be colossal. Each time was 232 in that 1,000. Ahaber's best is 241. There's a big difference. Meanwhile,
on for the evening session.
Dollar Schultz is nearly there. Theo, both in fairness, the same clearances and failures as Raymond Richards, which is why they're sharing the bronze.
That's a good shot, isn't it? Just shows what goes on in these high jump finals. The athletes just trying to relax, just starting to compose themselves. The dollar show, we know he's capable. He did 234 last week.
Like, come on, share the live.
Just stalking on here. And Portillo perhaps has the advantage here, jumping second. You know, Dollar Show, he cannot be sure of the gold unless he gets over this height.
Well, that first attempt was pretty good. Getting himself fired up. He's got that tattoo focus written on his left quad. He's earned a whole load of new friends here in Poland with his charismatic, swashbuckling, high jumping, smashing through the 230 barrier. This would be an incredible clearance. No, okay. That wasn't as good as his first effort.
It wasn't, and it doesn't matter how much repositioning, how much he changed the keys, if the fatigue is there. And Portillo, look at all those marks on his card. He's coming up with what will be his ninth jump at the competition for this third final attempt. It's not impossible, but the cumulative fatigue really starts to hit you. And these athletes, they will ease down off their training. They'll come into this championship so fresh. They've got the benefit of no qualification coming here. But still, 9-10, like the 9-10 jumps, that's just really pushing the envelope.
I wasn't sure for a fraction of a second there whether he was motioning no more, but I think the fact that he's going back to see the coach, he is going to have surely that last attempt. Well, you would think if Jonashuk clears this height, it will close the door. Because Portillo needed those two plays at 30. Jonashuk to make absolutely certain.
If you like, share the live.
He has to wait
this morning
to see Portillo
subscribe as well.
making his last attempt at 233.
Please subscribe as well.
Very silver, and he's never been on a global podium.
No, I don't wait to 15 to subscribe.
And I think the way it does, please call her up at 2 meters 30. It's so important that the reality of them sitting down and waiting for the next time. It's really tough. And there's not any way you can control that. The best way to control that is having that team scorecard, taking that advantage into the high stages. So that when you come out the other side, you're in the best possible position. But if the legs have gone, especially if you imagine it's so physically tough, so explosive, and then your whole body is sitting down and relaxing, it's going to start thinking you're done. It's going to start thinking it's lunchtime, maybe we can come and train again tomorrow, but it starts to wind down.
Right. Just giving himself a moment to psych up for this. Nobody's left. There's still a great atmosphere here in the venue. They've done a wonderful job here in Tulum. So, Portillo is guaranteed a global medal. So too is Donashuk. Neither of them have been in this position before. If Portillo clears this height, this would be another massive PB, and it would be gold. If he fails, at worst, it's a silver.
He's trying to get the goal, you know.
A memorable day when he cleared 230. for the first time. And listen to this. It's a full-on party here in Poland. He's the last guy on the dance floor. Does his journey end before the music stops?
Ah,
No.
Silva.
Brilliant effort from Podium.
Brilliant performance. Brilliant Silva performance.
Makes it double delight for the Ukrainians. Mahujic took the women's title. Dolishuk the men's. A wonderful embrace between Ukrainian and Mexican. Two brothers in arms and two men will be alongside each other on the podium. Dorishuk's never won a global medal, and he's taken the biggest one of them. That is absolutely fantastic.
Please turn on the notification bell.
For the Mexican Eric Portillo.
And the final.
Ukraine on top, Mexico second. Never before has he scaled 230. And Korea and Jamaica completely podium.
Jamaica with another medal, bronze medal, joint third. We will be sharing bronze medal from Korea.
It's only happened
If it's your first time on this channel, please subscribe.
cheering him on.
The live in the evening session to capture the 16 final, semi-finals, and finals. We heard it as well as the finals. If you don't know, please subscribe. Please, I don't want to 15,000 subscribers. Of course, I cannot do this. Please.
Achieving career first in global podiums. The difference between the two of them, Dolishuk expected, and it's taken him perhaps a year longer than he would have hoped for. And you know, I wonder what he came in today thinking he was capable of. I'm not sure he would have set up a
Please subscribe.
absolutely overjoyed.
Please.
Well, as if we needed confirmation, there is no sport like athletics in the world for being truly global. We have multiple continents on the same podium. Europe with Ukraine, the Americas with Mexico, the Caribbean with Richards, and Asia with Korea. Multiple continents, one united goal to jump higher than anyone else in the world. Great stories from all of them. Richards looks a little disappointed at everyone with the bronze medal. We had a record number of different nations on the podium in Tokyo last autumn, and this is another fantastic confirmation. Ukraine, Mexico, Jamaica, and Korea
with the bronze medal, you know.
podium together in the men's high jump.
I think Richard's just gesturing that he's not got a Jamaican flag and really would like one. They've got the flags out earlier for the mixed 4x4 squad, all four of them. Maybe they took those medals away. They were subsequently disqualified though. I have to check with that result. For handing the baton on outside of the zone.
Season this.
Dorishuk at last is a global champion. Portillo, the unlikeliest of silvers with a massive PB. Richards and Wu share the bronze. What a competition. And I've just looked across, Hannah. There is
I will people so
one
people I believe it. Please remember to subscribe and be on
incredible session of athletics.
and to subscribe. Right, and to the community, I know we can subscribe. Please subscribe
Has gone up to 5:30, and it's only the Swissman here. It's got a huge lead today.
People like
The rest of the world in this pentathlon, and he's chasing the world record. This would give him another 30 points. He was close on his.
Hello, 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 wonderful people. Welcome, welcome back to Typical Tyrell TV, your community for sprints and track and field. Hello, 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 beautiful people.